The Department of Homeland Security on Sunday took down a list of more than 500 counties and cities the federal government claimed to be obstructing federal immigration laws. The Albuquerque City Council last month approved a $1.5 billion budget for the next fiscal year, largely accepting Mayor Tim Keller's proposals. The New Mexico Supreme Court on Monday drew new boundaries for a 2021 law that allows individuals to file lawsuits in state court against government agencies. And a chicken chain is exploring opportunities to bring its unique flavor of chicken, salad, and sauces to the land of enchantment. From the Albuquerque Journal, this is the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. It's Tuesday, June 3rd, and I'll have more on those stories plus a look at the weather forecast on the other side of this break.
This episode is brought to you by the Kirtland Partnership Committee. For 30 years, we've been dedicated to supporting, growing, and preserving the Kirtland National Security Complex. We work tirelessly to enhance military readiness, foster community partnerships, improve quality of life, and promote economic development right here in New Mexico. Join us in our mission to ensure that Kirtland remains a cornerstone of national security and a key provider of quality jobs and investment for all of Greater Albuquerque. Together, we can make a powerful impact. Kirtland Partnership Committee, proudly shaping the future of our national security for 30 years.
The Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, has quietly removed a controversial list of over 500 counties and cities it labeled as obstructing federal immigration law. The move came a day after the National Sheriff's Association criticized the list, calling it a threat to unity between local and federal law enforcement. The list sparked confusion nationwide, including here in New Mexico, where most counties were flagged as sanctuary jurisdictions, some despite having pro-immigration enforcement policies. Local officials like Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham called for clarity, saying the list lacked transparency and justification. Despite the list's disappearance from the DHS website, the agency hasn't acknowledged removing it. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem defended its purpose on Sunday, asserting that many cities still qualify as sanctuaries for, quote, criminals, even if not by legal definition. The Sheriff's Association demanded an apology and full explanation for each jurisdiction listed, warning that the situation has damaged trust between law enforcement agencies and the federal government. It still remains unclear if and when the list will be reposted. The Albuquerque City Council has approved a $1.5 billion budget for the upcoming fiscal year, largely supporting Mayor Tim Keller's priority on housing, homelessness, and policing. Approved by a 6-2 vote, the budget reflects concerns about inflation, economic disruptions, and potential federal cuts. A major revenue source, the gross receipts tax, remains volatile due to global issues and lingering COVID-19 impacts. Retail and wholesale trade, historically vital for the gross receipts tax, continues to struggle. The budget set aside $4.6 million from the opioid settlement funds to aid nonprofits with helping addiction recovery. It also includes a 2.5% raise for most city workers, 2% from the mayor, with an additional 0.5% added by the city council. Councilor Carissa Peña's push for a larger raise failed, leading to her vote against the budget. Police funding remains contentious, with the Albuquerque Police Department receiving $274 million, the largest share, despite concerns about staffing cuts. APD aims to increase its current officers from 900 to 1,000, though it remains below the 1,100 authorized. Other major allocations include $128.6 million for Albuquerque Fire and Rescue and $97.4 million for debt service on capital projects. On Monday, the New Mexico Supreme Court clarified the scope of the state's 2021 Civil Rights Act, ruling that government agencies can, and in some cases, claim judicial immunity from lawsuits, particularly when acting as a, quote, arm of the court. However, whether this immunity applies must be determined by a judge based on specific court facts. The ruling stems from a lawsuit by Texas horse trainer Brad Bolin, who was fined by the New Mexico Racing Commission after a dispute and claimed his free speech rights were violated. A lower court allowed his suit to proceed, but an appeals court reversed that decision. The Supreme Court mostly upheld the appeals court, but sent the case back for further review using 6 factors adopted from a U.S. Supreme Court precedent. The 2021 Civil Rights Act was passed in response to national protests over police misconduct and allowed civil rights lawsuits to be filed in state courts for the first time, removing qualified immunity for officials in most cases. However, Monday's ruling adds a judicial immunity caveat, particularly for quasi-judicial decisions. The law remains controversial, with critics warning of costly litigation. Data on how many lawsuits have been filed under the law remains unavailable due to current court tracking methods. And the Georgia-based chicken chain Zaxby's is exploring an expansion into New Mexico, marking a potential first move into the state for the brand, with over 970 locations across 17 states. The company is active actively scouting locations in Albuquerque and Las Cruces, citing the region's growing and diverse population as a key draw. Burt Lane, Zaxby's VP of Franchise Sales, emphasized that New Mexico is a top priority for development. The chain is currently seeking franchise partners to help bring the concept to the state. Startup costs range from $1.39 million to $3.27 million, with a $35,000 franchise fee. Potential store formats include traditional drive-in, drive-through only, and retail units, with locations ranging from 1,160 to 2,900 square feet and employing over 25 people each. The move will follow Zaxby's recent entry into Arizona and comes amid a wave of chicken chain growth in New Mexico, including Raising Cane's, Slim Chickens, and Chicken Salad Chick. The leading news is powered by the journalism of the Albuquerque Journal. If you enjoy hearing all of the stories we share with you on a daily basis, please consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Journal by utilizing the discount code in our show notes. Every subscription helps support local journalism and helps us provide you with the stories that matter to you. Now taking a look at Albuquerque's weather forecast, there is a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m., sunny with a high near 87. As for this evening, a chance of showers and thunderstorms do exist, mostly cloudy with a low around 59. To keep up with all the latest news from the Albuquerque Journal, you can visit our website at abqjournal.com. That's the leading news. I'm Gino Gutierrez. We'll be back tomorrow.